Okay, we start our prayers by setting a good and a proper motivation, which consists of three parts, and by being mindful of both aspects, the object being visualized in the manner which we visualize it. So, first is the refuge field. In front of us, we visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, all gurus and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and if you know you come from a different tradition and you have somebody whom you hold in great regard, like an enlightened being, or you can include that being also in the refuge field. And they are looking upon us, with immense kindness, unconditional love, just as a mother looks upon her only child. Then is the Bodhicitta field. Visualize seated on either side, you know, kind parents, mother on the left, father on the right. And additionally, we are accompanied by all other dear mothers and on a side, and you individually then practice. The purpose of the practice is to manifest the Buddha nature within you, which is the ultimate source of happiness, by removing true mental obscuration, afflictive obscuration, system of afflictions of negative emotions, contaminated karmas, and their corresponding activities. Cognitive obscuration, subtle stains, that is inactive latencies of afflictions and contaminated karma. So with this visualization, we start our recitation. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I take homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, Sangi Chodam Sogi Chonam La, Jangchud Partu Dagni Kyapsu Chi, Dakchis Jinso Ipe Sonam Ki, Gola Penje Sange Dropa Sho, Sange Chodam Soge Chonam La, Jangchud Partu Dagni Kyapsu Chi, Dagi Jinso Ipe Sonam Ki, Gola Penje Sange Dropa Sho, Sange Chodam Soge Chonam La, Jangchud Partu Kyapi Dagni Kyapsu Chi, Dagni Jinso Ipe Sonam Ki, Gola Penje Sange Dropa Sho. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. By accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentiments. Go for refuge until I'm enlightened. Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to all sentiments. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentiments. Dependent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sin. Prostrate to the consummate Buddha, supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, speed of inapathy. Prostrate to the mother of hearers and bodhisattvas and Buddhas. Knowledge of all leads hearers seeking pacification to complete peace. The knowledge of path cause those helping migrate to achieve the aims of the world. Expression of omniscience, to help subduers expound a variety of one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by all truth, benefit sentence, teacher, Siddhartha, and protector, who I make one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations, endowed with the divine body of the vast eternally shines forth, forever noble light. You, the Buddha, inspired by wisdom and compassion, they in the Buddha's presence, and generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentients. We will play visual recording for and then the meditation mantra.
Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yamata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavata tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha.
Meaning of the mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. Causes are taught by the Tathagata. Cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, has the nature of space, which is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of Buddhas, three times gave peace. Four seals. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are nature of suffering. All phenomena are nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, liberate all beings of misery. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teaching until the end of the expanse of billions of years. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hand. Spiritual realizations are not transferred to them, it is by teaching of the truth of suchness beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions, shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and mystery. You are attached to this life, you are not the spiritual practitioner. You are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. You are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. Because grasping, you do not have to do. Ways to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed, transcendental destroyer, one gone beyond, co-destroyer, completely perfect, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge, Gata, more of the world, dream guide of human beings, spirit of gods, and you, completely and fully awakened one, endowed, transcendental destroyer, glorious conqueror, subduer from Shakya, prostrate, make offerings, and so forth. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, and then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, prostrate, with pure bodies, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like golden mountain, fame that blazes in 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. The supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus be like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable, wise one, to you I prostrate. Savior having great compassion, Founder having all understanding, field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata I prostrate, purity that frees one from attachment, virtue that frees one from the lower one thought, time pure reality, karma that pacifies, prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, fully feel qualified with realization, who are devoted to the moral precepts. You, Sangha, are prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous action. Perform only virtuous action. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of Buddha. Star, visual aberration, flame of lamp, vision, drop of dew, or a bubble. Beam, a flash of lightning, cloud, deconditioned things as such. To these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four falls, and be delivered from Samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. We recite it 7 times. Ayata Gate Paragate Parasamgate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Paragate Parasamgate Paragate Parasamgate Swaha Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Swaha Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Swaha Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Dibeshla. Um, as the as indicated, instructed by Dibeshla, just let us all reinforce the visualization of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of us for taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And for the taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow, it is for us to activate the seed of compassion within us. The first, the benefactor would be yourself. And it has no commitment as such. At the most, we cultivate, we create a sense that henceforth I will be, to the best I can, be of some benefit to others. If not, I will not harm others. As long as we can make this much of commitment, you are entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So with this in mind, visualize all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, so loving, so caring, and so embracing. And visualize your two parents on the two sides and all German sentient beings around you. And the purpose of the practice is to awaken this seed of perfection within us, which is at the moment obscured by the mental defilements. The way the beautiful light is there and is obscured by the picture. Break the picture, let the lights go out. It's so illuminating every atom of the universe, where your mind is not obstructed by any force. Thus, your mind becoming thus your mind experiencing total fearlessness and infinite happiness. And imagine that you are leading the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and all others happily joining you. So with that in mind, let's turn to the first stanza 3 times, followed by the next 2 stanzas 3 times. Okay, together. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddhahood in my heart. Okay, seems like there is a complaint. So let's continue with the next 2 stanzas. Wholeheartedly, Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will regenerate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successively dwelt in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will regenerate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully follow the Bodhisattva practices. Once in a Tibetan university, there was a teacher who had a very strong local dialect, and the students, they always complained that this teacher is not good because we cannot understand anything what he's teaching. Then one day, the teacher told us was telling a story to the students, and the students really enjoyed the whole one session. And the teacher said that you are all telling lies. You understood my stories and you do not understand my philosophy. I'm just joking. Okay. So Laura, you understood what I've said? Good. Which means that you are hearing something. Okay, good. So for the timing, we can't do this much here. So our technical staff is working on this. And let's carry on. Otherwise, we will waste our time. Okay, how many of you can hear me clearly? Raise your hands. Okay. So which means Laura and Sadhana, you have to fix your fix your internet. Okay. Laura, can you hear something? Okay, good. And then, okay. Oh, there are 2 Lauras. Laura Hoge and Laura Granetta. Okay. What about Sadhana? Can you hear me well? Sadhana? Okay, huh? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Welcome. Okay, now the Tenet Systems. Say just yesterday we had a talk where we had a talk on conversions between modern science and Buddhist philosophy. At the end of the talk, a gentleman asked me one question, and the question is so relevant here today. The question is that there are many philosophical traditions, and all these traditions, they say that our tradition, my tradition, tallies with modern science. It's very scientific. It tallies with modern science, indicating that others don't tally with the modern science, indicating that mine one is the best. Mine tradition is the best. So this is the reality of the philosophical traditions. So with this in mind, we talk about, in Buddhism, we talk about what is known as the middle way philosophy, a philosophy which is not tilted towards the two extremes, right? The middle way. So that is the best. If this is the case, then which philosophy is the middle way? This question. Because all the philosophers, they say that my philosophy is the middle way. And others, somehow, they either fall into the extreme of nihilism or they fall into absolutism. So whereas mine one is the middle way. This is what all the philosophical traditions would claim. And if you go to any tradition, everybody will say the same thing. Nobody say that mine one is inferior. Do you agree with me? Okay, this is very important. So now the point is that how would you then see that which is a good philosophy? Which is a good philosophy? The way the particular philosophy claims itself to be good. How do we discern that? This is my question to you. Anybody, raise your hands very quickly. Anybody? Okay, Abelardo.
Geshe-la, yesterday in talk that you gave, at the very beginning, you say that being in touch with the truth, the objectivity of science is very essential. So, to me, that gave the idea that tallying with the reality out there, the object of knowledge, is very basic.
Yeah.
So we are using here contemporary epistemology, philosophy of science, Western science, or universal science now, as a foundational criterion. So that would be my answer. But also, that raised doubts for me because then you talked about the role of subjectivity. So I know that you're into the quantum paradigm, which creates a whole other conundrum of issues about what is objectivity. So it makes it more complex. But in general, the criterion of intersubjective conventionality, which is a hallmark of Western philosophy of science, I would say is also a very important aspect.
Okay, anyone else? How would you say that? How would you say that? Anybody? Okay, the Abelardo's position is good. Anybody else? Anybody else who likes to share with us? Do you hear me clearly? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Okay, the Laura Granata, can you hear me clear? More clear or less clear? Better. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, Vishad, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, we cannot blindly, trust the religion or followers. We need to question ourselves. We are studying what we are being taught. That's makes sense to us, but experientially as well as scientifically. So we cannot go for the blind faith, right? Am I audible?
We cannot hear you well.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, Laura Hoke.
Geshe-la, can we say that the good philosophy means where practitioners also respect other philosophy
Um,
persons.
okay. So okay, good. Then the Laura Hoge. Okay, let us all listen.
Yes.
Let us all listen to
Sorry.
others.
Okay. Yeah. What I was going to say, sorry, Priscilla, was that my feeling is that any philosophy that makes you happy is a good philosophy.
Okay, good. So if all the philosophies make you happy,
then they're all good.
no, this is not. They say one says that it is A, and the other says it is non-A. Both cannot be correct.
Correct in which way?
No, what I'm saying, one says A, other says it's no, it's not A, it's non-A. Then we can't say that both are correct. We should be very objective. You know, for let's say that let's say that the say one is about so what do you like and what is correct, these two are different. You're getting what it's like, what do you like? For example, I don't like a very fancy big house and so far. I don't like that. I like very small, cozy. But some people, they want elegant. That is liking. Liking is different. Liking versus the reality. Ah, Ali. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Better now? Better or worse? Better. Sikkim says it is worse, and others say it is better. Okay. Rizans who say that it is better now. Rizans? Okay, Rizans who say that it's not better now. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, 3. So but can you hear me? Swikim, can you hear me? Good. If you, as long as you can hear for the time being, let's be there, and then let's see how to fix it, how to make it better later. Okay, the point is that let's say that from India to let's say that I want to go to from India, from Delhi, I want to go to Germany. Let's say Germany. Which way is quicker? From India, then let's say we fly from India clockwise, or from India anti-clockwise, go around. Which is quicker? So one say that clockwise is quicker. Other one says that the anti-clockwise is quicker. Both cannot be correct, right? Both cannot be correct. Okay. So this is what is the reality is one thing. Then clockwise it'll take you just 7 hours. Anti-clockwise it'll take you 17 hours. You're getting anti-clockwise it'll take you 17 hours. Oh, I like that. I like 17 hours. Liking is different. Don't mix the two things up. I like it. It's very good for me. And the reality. What's the reality and what I like? These two are different things. Don't mix up two things. You're getting it? So this is the purpose of us studying the NDC, Nalanda Diploma course. You're getting it? Eventually, our liking, how this liking happens is because of the cognitive thought process. You're getting it? Cognitive thought process. And how this cognitive thought process, at the moment, our cognitive thought process so loose, it's not crystallized. It's so loose, and then our liking is very flexible. We can become so emotional, right? We become so emotional. This is what we are thus far. Now what we are trying to do is we're trying to improve the cognitive thought process by knowing what exactly is the reality. You're getting it? What exactly is the reality? On that basis, then our sense of affinity, liking, the intention, liking can be on that ground. Then you can really go gate, para samgade, bodhisoha. At the moment, our liking and the cognitive thought process, these two are like separate things. Now we have to blend it together in order to go to a very refined understanding, refined, say the exploring, refined way of exploring your Buddha nature inside. So for that matter, for the time being, we have to learn what is Abelardo, what he said, the objectivity, right? Don't mix up your liking. Liking is my affinity. That's subjective input. Subjective versus the objective. So what is the objective? What is the objectivity there? What's the reality out there? You're getting it? We're exploring the reality. So to have a very objective approach is so precious, so important. After knowing what the reality is, then what is your affinity? That's up to you. That you decide. You're getting it? So some people may be very happy to travel in aeroplane for a long hour. Some people, they are not too happy, right? Why not you make it short from the India to Germany, just 6 hours, finish it, and then why you have to go like 17 hours the other way around? Okay, so that is your liking, and the other one is the objectivity. You're getting it? Okay, so with this, say what do you like, this is good for me, that is different. What I'm saying is that all the philosophies or the philosophers say that my philosophy is the one which tallies with the reality, right? And these philosophies, they may diverge. Diverge meaning they may be contradictory to each other. For example, within the Buddhist philosophy, there are 4 schools, which we are studying now, Tenet Systems. You're getting it? 4 schools. And don't say that all 4 schools are correct. You're getting it? Don't say that all 4 schools are correct, because there are contradictory views there within Buddhist philosophy. Admit it. In other words, don't think that, oh, I am following Buddhism, I'm a part of Nalanda Dharma course, therefore I have to believe in the Buddhist philosophy, this is the best. No, this is the wrong approach. If this is your approach, you are not doing the NDC. If you're doing NDC, your approach must be very objective. It doesn't matter whether it is Buddha who said it, whether it is the Descartes who said it, whether it is the Leibniz who said it, whoever said it is fine. So I want to know the reality, right? What effect it has on me, that is the second level. What effect that philosophy has on me is the second level. Whether you like it or not, that is another level. The first one is which is correct. This is very important. Objectivity. So how do we discern which is the correct one? Okay, my question to you. Anybody else? Okay, Gayatri ji.
Born in a particular tradition or a particular or way of life. It is only
Yes.
initially we act. That is all. But as grow old across our maturity, that we start asking questions, and so we live in this spherical world. I cannot deny the fact that I cannot live in an environment, but I, as a person, to know how transcend beyond this mere existence or the day-to-day life.
Okay. Good. Anna Sophie? Okay, let's all listen now. Anna Sophie?
I say first we have to know which one is telling the true causes of our suffering, and the more refined one. For example, some doesn't talk about the last third type of suffering, and it doesn't identify well what causes it. So I think we have to learn, meditate upon, and which are the most refined causes of our suffering, if we want to know which is the right philosophy.
Okay, so the another clue that I like to share with you, distinguishing what is the objectivity versus your affinity. There are two things. For example, it's a very simple example, but just see what that is like. My personal life experience is that I've been seeing all the Tibetan dances since my childhood. I've been seeing Tibetan dances. Then in the school, the dance competition is mostly Tibetan dances. Okay, by no means I am demeaning the Tibetan dances. Then in my 40s, I think, for the first time, I saw the Russian dance. The first time I saw the Russian dance is very sophisticated, extremely sophisticated. I was so fascinated. Very sophisticated, very sophisticated. So objectively, I would say that Russian dance is much more sophisticated than the Tibetan dance. That's for sure, for sure. But if you tell me which do you like more, I would say that I like the Tibetan dance more, because I've been seeing this. I'm used to this since my childhood till now. I'm used to that. My affinity wise, it is there. Even while I know that the Russian dance is more sophisticated, very sophisticated, right? Even the gestures, movements, they are so sophisticated. You need tremendous skills. So, but affinity wise, it can be different. Yeah. Same and then some people, right? The elders like my age and little older, right? Very sophisticated mobiles, and the simple mobile, they prefer the simple mobile. They know that the sophisticated mobiles, they have so many features, but they're confused. So they prefer the simpler one. You're getting it? So affinity is different. Let us not talk about affinity. Affinity is different. How it impacts you, this is a different story. The first one is, how do we know that, how do we know that which is which? Which is which, meaning, in other words, in simple terms, which accords with the reality. How do we know that? This question. Okay, Ben.
Vishal, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
We study the views of the different philosophies and see the contradictions between them, and then see what makes more sense, and then you can decide which one is the correct one.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You study the different traditions. You're getting it? Don't follow blindly. Study the different traditions. Don't accept them directly. Don't reject them. Don't reject them. Don't accept them. Just study very objectively. Study very objectively. Study them, and then the best thing would be, say, let's say that somebody who says that I'm expert on Chittamatra, right? And everybody respects that person as expert on Chittamatra. And then you study, okay, I want to see which of the Buddhist philosophy. I don't want to bring the other philosophies because it may create what do you call it, the controversies, conflicts, and so forth. So within the Buddhist philosophy, I would say within the 4 Buddhist schools, one says that, okay, Vaibhashika is the best. Like which teacher this? Okay, let's say the Samitiya Vaibhashikas. So they say that the Vaibhashika tradition is the philosophy is the best philosophy. And then the Sautrantika philosophers, no, Vaibhashika is very low quality. Sautrantika philosophy is the best. And Chittamatra, like Acharya Chandragomi, no, Sautrantika is just nothing. It's so gross. Chittamatra philosophy is the best. And then the Svatandra Madhyamika, like Acharya Bhavaviveka, says, no, you have not understood the Svatandra Madhyamika philosophy. You learn this, you will be fascinated. You will be really thrilled to experience this philosophy. But that's the best. And then Acharya Chandragati from Prasangika would say that, no, this is very gross. So we say that these different philosophers, they say that mind philosophy is the best. You're getting it? So how to evaluate which is good, which is best, which is best? So there, as Ben said, study them. study them. Then let's say that I'm trying to compare the Vaibhashika and South Tantric school. Then I study Vaibhashika well, South Tantric well, and then then I see that okay, South Tantric is very good. It can answer many questions which the Vaibhashikas cannot answer. By studying this, then I pick up South Tantrika, right? Okay. Then South Tantrika, and then Acharya Chandrakriti comes, Prasangika. No, South Tantrika is very gross, then Prasangika is very good. I study this, and I say, no, but what is Prasangika? Prasangika says that nothing is objectively real. Everything is like a dream. Everything is like imagination. Everything is just imagination. Then how can you explain the cause and effect, right? So Prasangika is not good, right, Ben? So I say that I studied Prasangika and South Tantric school both, and then I see the South Tantric is very nice. It explains cause and effect very good, and Prasangika is saying that everything is just imagination, just thought, just coming from the subject, nothing from the object. It's just imagination. So then how can I explain the functionality of the world? So this is not a good philosophy. This is not really telling you the reality. So South Tantric school is very good. This is best. So Ben, how would you then respond to this? Ben?
Yeah, I would go ask the teachers.
Okay, this is my question, not only to Ben, but to all of you. So let's see what Ben has to answer. Yes.
If I have this inquiry in my mind, I would go to the Prasangika teachers and share it with them and see what they have to say about it.
Say it again.
I would go to with this inquiry to the Prasangika teachers and see what they have to say about it. Like I have this question.
Okay, so let's say that Ben is Prasangika teacher, and then Ben explains, no. There is no objective existence, but still we can explain the function so well, and then I listen to it so well and says, no, it doesn't make sense, right? So you told me, but then still I see that this is nihilism. You're getting it? So okay, this is not just a question to Ben, all of us. So Ben has already taken us to two steps. The first step is so precious, which is that we have to study both. This is extremely important step, number one. Number two is that simply by studying, you cannot conclude even then. Because I said I studied Vaibhashika and South Tantrika, and I thought that South Tantrika could give many answers which Vaibhashika cannot give. So I picked up South Tantrika. Then somebody said that there's Prasangika. Then I studied Prasangika also. Then the Prasangika, I thought that this is nihilism, right? This is nihilism. Many of the Western philosophers today, they say that Prasangika is idealist. You get idealist means it's like nihilism, purely coming from the mind, subject, ideas, not really from the object. There's nothing there. They can't really expound the functionalities. They only reject. This is what they are. This is what the thinking. So this is, say, if I get this impression of Prasangika, how should I do? Then Ben said that you check with the Prasangika teachers. So I went to Ben, who is the Prasangika teacher, and Ben says, "Oh no, you got it wrong. So you reject objectivity, but the functionality is not rejected." Then I asked you how. Then you explain the dependent origin and so forth, but still I see that this is like nihilism. So I said, Ben, yeah, now I already approached the Prasangika teacher, but I see that it's purely nihilism. So what do you do now? Okay, now we have gone to the second step. So we need the third step. Anybody? Okay, Andre Virjo.
Hi, Geshe-la, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Geshe-la, I think you mentioned before that once the Buddha said that just as a goldsmith would test his gold by burning, cutting, and rubbing it, we must also examine his teachings. So I think we basically should subject Buddha's teachings to examination with logic and reasoning.
Yes.
And if they can withstand that analysis, then we can adopt them and have faith in them.
No, so what I'm saying is, so what I did exactly what Andre said. I subject them to analysis and the experiments and so forth, cutting, rubbing, burning the gold. And then I made the conclusion that Prasangika is nihilist, right? This conclusion that I made. Many people make this conclusion. Yes. So then where should I go now? What is the next step? So what Andre said and what Ben said it in 2 steps. Andre summarized that in 1 step, right? We already reached that step. So still I'm not able to get to the right point. The conclusion that I made is not right. So how would you then go next? Anybody? Okay, that's it now. Finish. Okay. So no way. No way. No way. No way. Okay, Jane Larson. Jane Larson, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
then, well, there's Chittamatra and Madhyamaka Satanatika
Yes.
schools. You can look at those.
Say it again.
There are 2 more schools, Tenet schools you can look at.
Yes.
Chittamatra and
Chittamatra and Swatandra
Madhyamaka. Yes.
So
yes.
I studied all the schools, and the Southantara school is so beautiful. Chittamatra is nihilism, and the Swatandra Madhyamaka is nihilism. Prasangika is the worst nihilist. So this is my conclusion. How can you help me? I studied all. Anybody? 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 Any new hand? Okay, all hands will give the same answer, I know. Okay, Tripti ji?
Geshe-la, we should just follow any school. It doesn't matter. Because finally...
that's very scary.
No, I think following some tenets is better than following nothing. So whatever you are convinced with.
There are many things. Something is better than nothing. Nothing is better than something. Both are there. It's not only one way.
Yeah.
It's not only something is better than nothing. Right? With the poison, nothing is better than something.
But you believe in a school,
with the
so it can't be all
with
bad.
the medicine, something is better than nothing. Anybody else? Anyone else? New hands? Any new hands? Did you get the point? That I said, first we have to study all. Yes, this is a very good approach. Very good approach. Otherwise, it can be very dangerous. Just to follow blindly, it can be very dangerous. So study all. Even studying all, it doesn't guarantee that you have. Okay, somebody. Amruta. Oh, where is Amruta?
Amruta.
Okay,
Geshe-la.
the okay, Amruta, you have answer?
Geshe-la, my answer is, can you hear me?
Amruta, are you on the camera?
Yes.
Okay, I cannot see you. It doesn't matter. You tell me yes. Okay,
So,
Amruta, tell me.
Geshe-la, my answer is that if I have come to the conclusion, then still philosophers will ask me to clarify my stand. And that way, I will have to go to objectivity.
Yes.
And that way,
okay, let's say Amruta. Okay, so you are somebody to tell me that go for the best philosophy, right? And then I said yes. And then what I did is that you asked me, how will you choose the philosophy which accords with the reality? I said, first I have to study. You told me that you have to study all the philosophy. Then I studied all the philosophy. Say, I don't want to compare with the other philosophy. I just go into the Buddhist philosophy. So this will not put me into problem in the Buddhist philosophy. So I study all the 4 Buddhist philosophies. And then I see that let's say Chittamatra, the third one is very nice. That is very subtle. And this is the reality. And then the next is Swatandra, Madhyamika, and Prasangika. This is nihilist. And the Vaibhashikans, the Southern school, these 2 are absolutist. So Chittamatra is the best. So whereas the Amruta, you are confident that Prasangika is the best. You are confident with this. So how can you help me? You first told me that you have to study all. I studied all. I said that prasangika is nihilist. So how would you help me?
Then my whatever is my conclusion, I have to further question that. And because I am studying philosophy because I want happiness, then
Yes.
not suffering. Then
Oh, yes.
this thought I will have to analyze my means every philosophy. Where will it take me? And one philosophy that will take me to happiness for myself and all, that is best then, because
No, no,
that is why.
Amrita, I'm not talking about the best philosophy. Best philosophy, good philosophy, helpful philosophy, these are different. Objectively, which is the subtlest philosophy? This question. Objectively, which is the subtlest philosophy? This is what I'm exploring. And I think that you advised me to study all the philosophy to know which is the subtlest. I studied all and I conclude that Chitmatra is the subtlest. And you said it's not true, right? So how can you help me? Okay, anybody? Anybody? Okay, Dr. Sandeep ji. Okay, let's all listen.
Yeah, Gesha, I just try.
Yes.
So, any philosophy which will help reduce my own negative reactions the maximum.
Okay. Yes. Let's say that.
So, I will have to explore all the philosophies to see which is the philosophy which reduces my negative emotions.
Okay, that's true. That's true. So this is more relation to which is relevant to me. You know, relevant to me. I'm talking about the objectivity. Objectivity in modern science. There's a tremendous emphasis on objectivity. Not only modern science, with the modern studies. For example, the sociology, economics, even political science, the objectivity is extremely important, the raw material, right? After that, then comes the affinity. It is helpful to me, it is relevant to me, it's not relevant to me, and so forth. For example, objectively, I would say that objectively, Russian dance is very sophisticated, more sophisticated than the Tibetan dance. And food-wise, the Chinese food is so sophisticated as compared to Tibetan food, guaranteed. But I like the Tibetan food more. My liking is different. You're getting it? Sophistication wise, we have to be very objective. My affinity should not mix with the objectivity of the sophistication of the object. Okay, so the point is that let's say that Elroji is very confident with the Prasangika philosophy, right? He studied all, and then he finally came to the conclusion that Prasangika philosophy is the subtlest, right? Is the subtlest. And I came to the conclusion that I studied all, and I came to the conclusion that Chittamatra is the subtlest, right? So how can he decide? How can he decide this question? This is a very serious question. You're getting it? Very serious question. Why serious question? Then the relevance comes later. Relevance I'll explain later. You know, I'll come to it later. Okay, this is so important. So how will you say that? Right? How will you say that which of the two conclusion is a better conclusion? Elroy's conclusion or mine conclusion? Okay, Laura Hoge.
Sorry, Geshe-la, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I would say that not only study, analysis, but also debate would be necessary in order to come to the conclusion of which is objectively the most true to reality.
Okay, so let's say we debated. I debated with Elroy, right? And Elroy is not too talkative. I'm very talkative, right? I'm very talkative. And I said, look, Elroy cannot give answers to my questions. Then, look, Chittamatra is the best. I debated with him, right? Okay, so how to make this? Wow, this is a very complicated thing. Very complicated. Okay, now we have the Lianchu. Okay, there are new hands coming up. Okay, now let us hope for a better answer. So, meanwhile, keep in mind, Meanwhile, we are all activating our mind, activating our brain, activating the intelligence. You're getting it? This is so precious. This is required. Okay, we have several hands coming up. First, Lenchu. Yes.
Normally, there has to be an authority that is
Okay.
recognized by all sides as the final arbiter.
Okay, so who will decide?
That this,
Okay, with Buddhism is fine. Buddhism, let's say there is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Okay, it's fine. But what about the other traditions? You know, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Christianity. Who is the one authority, right? Okay, okay. Then now we have Suzanne. Unmute. Okay, we lost Suzanne.
Okay. Excuse my being very new to the scripture. If we are studying Mahayana, so isn't there this express way of reaching Buddhahood? The Vajra and the Tantra something? So wouldn't we be choosing something that would get us through the expressway to reach Buddhahood?
Okay, so Suzanne, what makes you think that there is an expressway?
Because
you know this, or you heard it? You heard it, or you know it?
No, I think it was in our notes. Because
in the notes. Okay,
the
Suzanne, don't
subtlest
worry. Suzanne, don't worry. I'll write another note. Another note, and in which I will say that I have an express way, not just express, right? Super express way, supersonic express way. I'll write it and give it to you, right? Don't just believe. You're getting it? Don't just believe.
You meditate.
Okay,
You're supposed to meditate to get the answers.
Okay, so the point is that this is the... Okay, Jean, let's listen to all. Look, we don't have to have the correct answer right now. Just give your answers. Meanwhile, everybody's thinking, and your thinking is being activated. That will take you to Buddhahood. You're getting it? Your mind getting activated, becoming so objective, that will take you to Buddhahood. Buddhahood means a state where your mind knows things so objectively as they are. So this is the Buddhahood. This activation, what is happening now. Otherwise, we can go Tenet System in 4 days, we can finish. Right? But we are actually doing now, activating this thought. This really suffices completing Tenet Systems 4 times. Right? Just this analysis is good enough. That suffices. That is more powerful than just studying the Tenet System without any inquiry. The complete 4 times. Okay, Jean.
Yes, maybe it is a very simple, too much simple answer, but yes. I think I will confront those philosophies with very concrete example.
Jean, say it again.
I will confront these different...
You confront me. You confront me?
No, so the philosophy...
I'm the one who said that the Chitta philosophy is best. Chitta philosophy is the subtlest. And then our Elroy said that no. Prasangika is the subtlest. And Jean is the judge.
No, maybe I don't use a good word because I'm not so good in English. I wanted to say that I will need very concrete examples.
A concrete example. Yes, I see that the Chitta philosophy is the subtlest. And Elroy said that I know what Chitta philosophy is. Prasangika philosophy is the subtlest. So we are fighting. And Jean comes. So we ask Jean, please decide. Okay, where is Smita ji? Smita ji, yes. Yes, Smita ji.
I think the philosophy that helps understand the conventional reality.
Okay, yes. So
also outlining,
yes.
While also outlining the ultimate.
Yes, according to Mata, you will understand conventional reality the best. And Elroy will say, no, Prasangika, you will understand the conventional the best. Again, conflict is there. Okay, the Siu Chingi.
I try, yeah. I guess it's like why Chitamat your decision is because it's the path leading to the cessation of suffering. So that is where we are going through, where
Yes.
we will learn the wisdom of emptiness. So when
Yes.
our conceptualize settle down, we more or less have purity, which is like
Yes.
our Buddha nature. I think
Yes.
it's something like that.
So I will say that yes, what the Sui Chingi explains is exactly what Chittamatra can do it. And Elroy said, no, this is what only Prasanga can do it. Again, the same complication is there. Lai Ying Leong. Ying Leong?
Hi, I'll just try. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think that we should reflect on it, on all the teachings, and then reflect and meditate on it before you.
Reflect on it.
Yeah.
Then I reflected. And the Chittamatra is best. Okay. Is there any new hands? Is it okay? Carolyn Hansen?
Would it have to do with your level of conviction? If you can't be convinced any further, then that would be the ultimate philosophy.
Okay, thus far I'm convinced the most by Chittamatra. So that's ultimate, is it?
For you.
Yes, for me, yes.
Yes.
But the reality is one. Reality cannot be two, right? Ultimate reality can be one. It cannot be two. For me, yes. For another Carolina, another reality, no. Reality is reality. The objective reality should be one. Okay. So let me share. So these are all these brainstormings are very, very essential. You're getting it? It's not that you have to study, you have to finish the Tenet system in 4 days. This is not the point. The point is that we have to grow. You're getting it? Your thinking should grow. Your objective thinking should grow. This is important. If you don't do that, we become so vulnerable. We have to always believe in somebody. And we don't know who that person is to whom you're believing. Right? And then it can take you to a wrong direction. So therefore, we need to have this intelligence. In the first place, why do you have to believe in this person? Why not this person believe in me? You're getting it? This is a question. This is a big question. Why should this person be taken as authority? This question. So the point is that, okay, listen now. Listen. So what is important is that, okay, first you study what Ben said. Study all the traditions. And your intelligence may not be too sharp. You're getting it? Your intelligence may not be too sharp to understand Prasangika right there. You studied it, and you may think that this is a nihilist philosophy. You're getting it? Okay. Now the question is that when you make the conclusion, Chittamatra is the best, Prasangika is not. When you make this conclusion, first you have to make sure that you have understood Chittamatra philosophy, you have understood Prasangika philosophy. You're getting it? You have to make sure that you understood both. Right? For example, if somebody says that what is 2 plus 5? Somebody says is 4. Somebody says is 5. Somebody says 6. Somebody says 7, 8, 9, 10, so forth. So first, you have to know that, okay, Ben said 2 plus 5 equals 4. Yes, this is the Ben's answer, right? I may not agree with this, but this is what exactly he said. Then I double check with Ben. Did you say this? 2 plus 5 equals 4. Ben said, yes. Okay, I got you. So Ben will tell me that you got my answer, but I'm not happy with this. You're getting it? So this confirms that I've understood what Ben said it. I check with you, and if you're happy that yes, Dorji got it correctly of what the other person said, then which means I understood you, but I may not agree with you. You're getting it? Okay, in other words, what should be done is that in order for me to say that Chittamatra is better than the Prasangika, I have to understand both the philosophy well. Both the philosophy well. And then I made the conclusion Chittamata is better. Then it's fine. So then the question is, how do I know that I understood both? This question. You're getting it? How do I know that I understood Prasangika? So what I do is that, what I should be doing is that I should go to Elroy, and ask Elroy, do you help me to identify any authority in Prasangika philosophy? Then you said, yes, don't worry, we have the Acharya Chandrakriti. Then he takes me to Acharya Chandrakriti. Then I paraphrase all the Prasangika philosophy which I learned. I paraphrase it, and Acharya Chandrakriti says that, no, you have not understood it, which means that, although I think I've understood it, I've not understood it. You're getting it? I've not understood it. Only when Acharya Chandrakriti says, wow, you've understood it fully, you got it correctly. Then if I say that Prasangika is a nihilist, I'm correct. You're getting it? My conclusion is wise. For example, let's say my English. For example, let's say my English. At one point, this is reality. It's a real thing. It's a real anecdote. So there was one Singaporean monk when I was just, I think, aged like 20. The first when I entered my first monastery, which is the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics. Okay, these anecdotes are real life experiences, and then on that basis you will see, how to make a wise judgment. So there was a Singaporean monk, and who I came to learn that he was an English teacher then. It was like almost 30 years ago, and so this young boy, he must be in his 30s. I was just, there's a maybe gap of like, say, 15 years between two of us. And I just graduated from the school, and there were the newcomers from Tibet who were learning English. And my teacher, Venerable Geshe Lobsang Gyatso Rinpoche, he appointed me as the English teacher for the youngsters coming from Tibet who are nearby a monastery. So one of the students came to me, and that Singaporean monk, we were roommates. And then the student came, and my Singaporean monk, he was an English teacher in Singapore, and I was just graduated from high school. And this student came, and this student asked me how to read this. So there are several words I taught, and then one fruit, pear. I taught how to read it as pear, because it is P-E-E-R. P-E-A-R, what is that? What's spelling? Anybody? What's the spelling of that? Din Shugela.
Yes, Geshe-la, that's correct. P-E-A-R.
P-E-A-R. Okay. So I taught the student that this is pear. This is pear. And the student read pear. I said, repeat it. And the student said pear. Okay. Then the student left. Then after the student left, this Singaporean monk, he is amazing. He did not say anything in front of the student. Then the student left. And then the monk said, Dorji, this is not pear. This is pear. Then I said, no way, it's not true. Because his accent is Singlish. His accent is Singlish, is not, the British accent. And of course, mine one is also not British accent. So and I didn't know which is really a good English. This is what I know, pear. So I said, this is pear. And he said, no, this is pear. And I said, no. And then to double check it and to tell him that this is pear, I was looking for the dictionary quickly. And then I realized that in the dictionary, it is pear, it's not pear. You're getting it? So the point is that this young boy, he knew what he was seeing, pear. He knew what the Singaporean teacher was saying, pair. You're getting it? He knew both, and he wanted to now double check it with the standard ones, meaning the dictionary, like Cambridge Dictionary. In the Cambridge Dictionary, it says that Singaporean monk's version is correct and mine version is wrong. You're getting it? So this is how we have to be very objective. Then I said, I'm very sorry, I'm wrong. I was wrong. You're getting it? So likewise, you have, let's say, first you have to go to, say, the Chittamatra. You go to Chittamatra and ask the Chittamatra expert that, okay, this is what I get of the Chittamatra philosophy. And the Chittamatra, the expert says, wow, that's correct. You're getting it? That's correct means you have understood Chittamatra philosophy. You understood it, but you may not agree with that. You're getting it? You understood that, you may not agree with that. Then you go to, say, the Prasangika. Say, I go to Prasangika, I'm maybe so fascinated by Chittamatra. I do go to Prasangika, Elroy. Then Elroy says, okay, say what you understand of Prasangika. I say something, and then Elroy said, no, this is not Prasangika's understanding. Which means I have to study more Prasangika. I study more. Finally, Elroy says, yes, this is exactly what Prasangika's view. And still, if I'm not happy, then you can make conclusion that Prasangika view is nihilist. You're getting it? So this should be our approach. Usually, this is not what is happening. This is not what is happening. So people just make a very, say, the rash conclusion, oh, Prasangika is idealist, Nagarjuna is idealist. If the person doesn't even know what Nagarjuna said it. What Nagarjuna said. You're getting it? So first we have to study it. After studying this, then double check whether your understanding is complete of the different traditions. How to double check it? Go to the expert of the particular tradition. Don't ask everything to Nagarjuna, because Nagarjuna does not believe in Chittamatra philosophy, right? For Nagarjuna, ask the Madhyamika philosophy. For Chittamatra, go to Arya the Arya Sangha, Acharya Vasubandhu, or say Acharya Dinaga, Acharya Dharmakirti. Go to these teachers and ask whether my understanding of Chittamatra is correct. You're getting it? And if they say yes, that's correct, and you say that I don't agree with this philosophy, perfect. This is how we should be objective. Then after being objective, then next comes the relevance, right? Relevance. Okay. Now all these philosophies, they are not taught by the Buddha. They are not taught for the sake of the philosophy. You're getting it? They are taught for the sake of your mental transformation. Relevance. Then the relevance comes into play. Okay. So this relevance, we see that our emotions like anger, fear, anxiety, and so forth, these emotions, we see that they are related to our cognitive thought process. So the philosophy, Chittamatra philosophy, Madhyamika philosophy, Vaibhashika philosophy, and so forth, all these philosophy, they are all related to the cognitive thought process. And these cognitive thought processes decide whether you're happy, not happy, 20% happy, 30% happy, 50% happy, and so forth. You're getting it? So then from there, when you see that, now the question is, which is more relevant to you? Which is subtler? Because you want a subtler degree of peace in your mind. Subtler degree of peace in your mind, you have to study the subtler philosophy. You have to know the subtler philosophy. You're getting it? So to have a subtler degree of peace, to have the subtlest degree of peace, you have to know the subtlest philosophy. This is the relevance. Now the relevance comes. You're getting it? Okay. So once you know this, then you know the Vaibhashika philosophy, Sautrantic philosophy, then the Chittamatra philosophy, Madhyamika philosophy. Within Madhyamika, Svatana Madhyamika, Prasanga Madhyamika. You study all these things, you know this philosophy so well, and then you apply this. You meditate on each of the philosophy and see to what extent your emotions are under control. Right? How subtly your emotions are under control. Then you realize that the Prasangika philosophy has the greatest impact to control your emotions. You will see that. You will see that. This is how we have to proceed. But keep in mind that the study of Tenet systems that we are doing now, the study of the Tenet system that we are doing now, from this, this gives you a very beautiful presentation, saying that all the schools, they say that my philosophy is the subtlest. You are getting it? The subtlest philosophy is known as the middle way philosophy. Middle way. Everybody says that my philosophy is the middle way. You're getting it? Okay, let us not forget this. Let's not forget this, because I want to take only the 4 Buddhist schools to make sure that I don't end up in controversies. I only take up the 4 Buddhist schools. So finally, it is, and the point is that it's not about, say, the Buddhist philosophy is the best. This is not the point, right? Today, if there's any philosophy outside Buddhism, if that really, I can see that I study this objectively and I see that this is the best, this is subtler than the Prasanga philosophy, I'll be very happy to embrace that. It's not about, Buddhist or non-Buddhist. This is not the point. The point is that we have to, the purpose, finally there should be a purpose. One, objectively study that, and then the next step is the relevance with the purpose. My purpose is to get rid of all my fears. If there is a philosophy which has the greater potential to get rid of my fears, I'll embrace that naturally. You're getting it? Okay. So with this in mind, when you study Prasangika, when you're quite impressed by Prasangika, don't be contemptuous of the other philosophical schools. Don't be contemptuous. Don't be scornful of the other philosophical schools, like any other religions, philosophy of the other religions. Never, let us not do that ever in our life, right? Always maintain a sense of, keep in mind that finally, even the purpose of Prasangika is to make me fearless and make others happy. So because this is the point, all the philosophies in their own ways, they're helping others. They make others happy. So just appreciate that, right? Appreciate that. That's it. And then for you, the point is that you can appreciate, you can really enjoy the Prasangika philosophy. Meanwhile, let us not be contemptuous. I'm repeating this again. Let us not be contemptuous of the other traditions. Even if you agree, that's fine. You have the full right to disagree with any tradition, but let us not be contemptuous. Let us not be, have a sense of animosity, have a sense of the hostility towards other traditions. We must continue to respect and embrace them. They are also sentient beings. They also want happiness. They also don't want suffering. This is so important. Okay. With this is one point that I like to raise. Then the second point that we need to know is, okay, in this case, just you may be curious, what would be like the overarching criteria to say that this is a Buddhist philosophy? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, Madhyamika, whatever. This is a Buddhist philosophy, or the person is is a Buddhist philosopher. So what would be the overarching the qualification or the criteria, right? Keeping aside the details, the 4 schools, keeping aside that, just what is overarching? What does it mean by a Buddhist philosopher, or somebody who accepts the Buddhist philosopher or the Buddhist philosopher? So there, the text, what we are reading here, the text says on page 25, it reads, the definition of the Buddhist tenet holder or Buddhist philosophy, therefore, is a person who accepts the 4 seals of the view. Teaching of the Buddha, the 4 seals are, okay. Before that, good, thank you. Here, now it is on the screen. Kinshugala, thank you so much. The definition of the Buddhist tenet holder meaning Buddhist philosopher, therefore, is the person who accepts the 4 seals of the view, teachings of the Buddha, 4 seals of Buddhist teaching. The four seals are: all composite things are impermanent, all contaminated things are of the nature of suffering, all phenomena are of the nature of selflessness, transcending sorrow is peace. Okay, this is a benchmark to say somebody is a Buddhist philosopher or holding a Buddhist tenet, is holder of Buddhist tenets. If anybody who accepts these four things through cognitive, say the cognitive discernment or cognitive understanding, cognitive insight, you are said to be a Buddhist tenet holder. Okay, this says, and then we have to study each of one of these four, right? Not just saying that, okay, this is teaching the Buddha, and then you recite it every day. Okay, now I'm a Buddhist tenet holder. This is not the point. Anybody, whether you're Buddhist or not, this doesn't matter. Study these things, and if you agree that yes, this is the reality, that all composite things are impermanent, then all contaminated things, contaminated meaning that influence, contaminated meaning influence of afflictions. We studied the four seals before. Whatever is under the influence of the afflictions will lead to suffering. Then all phenomena are the nature of selflessness, meaning that everything, they're all coming from this subject, nothing really from the object. And finally, okay, this is the third one is a little complicated. It requires a lot of studies there. And transcending sorrow is peace. You can overcome all your sorrow. You can overcome all your fears. Once you transcend the fear, then the peace, you will have the experience of peace. That is nirvana. So anybody who understands and who appreciates or who have a cognitive understanding of these four and see that yes, these are these tally with the reality, then this is what is the benchmark for somebody to be qualified as a Buddhist tenet holder. Okay, we're done with this. The next one. Now we go to the Vaibhashika. Okay, Vaibhashika school. The Vaibhashika, all the ten systems, Buddhist tenets, how that is presented here in this text by Venerable Kuncho Jigme Wangpo, the Jesuit Kuncho Jigme Wangpo. How present is so succinctly done, so succinctly explained. This is amazing. It doesn't mean that any book on Buddhist tenet system should necessarily explain in this particular format. No, not necessary. How he did is so beautifully crafted, is so beautifully done, and I really like this text so much. It's so succinct and this amazing, so intelligibly crafted, done. So what he did is that he explained the 10 systems. Of each of the 10 systems, Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, Madhyamika, in the form of the three main subjects. Let's say the basis, the path, and the result. The basis, the path, and the result. Okay, so this basic the outlines must be within. We must have these basic outlines within our knowledge. The basis, the path, and the result. And within the basis, then the object and the subject. Okay, I'll explain what that is. What is meant by basis? What is meant by path? What is meant by the result? So finally, as I said earlier, one time, in fact, this is what I shared with the participants for the webinar yesterday for the Science and Buddhist Philosophy Conversions talk. I would like to share with you also today. By the way, it doesn't matter. So some of you must be missing for the yesterday's talk. So I'd like to share with you this very important here. And okay, let's say that I'm living on a very hilly, rocky place, a place with a landscape very rocky and hilly. And then somebody said that, okay, Geshe-la, you need to, you're going to start a center here. Yes, very good. I'll start a center, which means that you need to have a car. Yes, we need a car. And then what kind of car, Geshe-la, you want? Then I'm a very fancy person, right? I want Rolls Royce, right? Rolls Royce, very cute Rolls Royce, right? Which means that I just thought about the Rolls Royce, very nice, slim Rolls Royce. I never thought about the compatibility of the car with the landscape that I'm in. The landscape is very rocky, bumpy, and hilly. This cute Rolls Royce will not work. You're getting it? So first I have to know the landscape, the reality I live in. I have to know the reality, the purpose, and there's a purpose there. The purpose is the goal, the basis, the path, and the result. Result. What result do you want? I want to construct a center, big center, academic, Buddhist academic center there. I want to big construct. So for that purpose, there is a purpose. But with this cute, slim Rolls Royce car in the bumpy, rocky, the landscape is totally irrelevant. These are totally not compatible. You're getting it? So we have to first know the landscape, first know the reality that I'm in. That is a basis. That's the meaning of the basis, to know the reality. Once you know the reality, on that basis, then you bring the vehicle, you bring the path. You're getting it? You bring the vehicle to take you to the goal, to take you to you have to go to different places to buy the cement, to buy the iron rods, then buy the steels, then buy the sand, bricks, and so forth. The goal is there. So only if you know the basis very clearly, the reality is very clearly, accordingly I will create the path, or I'll buy the vehicle. Then this vehicle will be in a position to take you to the desired goal. You're getting it? So therefore the basis, the path, and the result. So finally, what's the result that we are seeking? All of us. What's the final result? The fearless, in a vernacular language, fearlessness and the infinite happiness. In a Buddhist terminology, fearlessness is nirvana. Infinite happiness is Buddhahood. You're getting it? If you want to speak this concept in a secular context, you say that everybody seeks fearlessness and everybody seeks infinite happiness. In a secular context. In a Buddhist context, then you can say everybody seeks nirvana and Buddhahood. You're getting it? It's just a change of the word. And this is a reality. That whether you're Buddhist or not Buddhist, nobody wants fear. Whether you're Buddhist or not Buddhist, everybody wants happiness. This is the reality. So with this in mind, let's say the basis, the path, and the goal. The basis, the path, and the result. So the basis is the reality that we live in. What kind of how many kinds of the realities are there for us to know? There are innumerable realities that we have to know. Innumerable realities, innumerable kinds. And this author, Venerable Tsumpa Kuncho Jime Wangpo, he put it so beautifully. To study, for example, to study the whole world. To study the whole world, there are so many hundreds, thousands of tiny small pieces there, small pieces of land on the earth. How to study all these things? Very complicated. But to make it very easy, 7 continents are there, as simple as that. Put them into 7 continents. That encompasses everything of the planet Earth. Likewise, what he did was that the basis, the reality that we have, this can be summarized into 2. Object and the subject. You're getting it? Object and the subject. Object. Everything can be boiled down. The basis, the reality that we live in, can be seen to be included in these 2 categories, object and the subject. This is so beautiful way of presentation. Extremely smart, extremely intelligible. Object and the subject. Let's talk about the world, economics, or commerce, all this aesthetics, ecology, language, paintings, arts, science, right? What else? Okay, manufacturing, industries, you name anything, Big Bang, right? Dinosaurs, they are all your objects. You are studying them. They are all your objects. And what studies them? What knows them? That is your subject. Your subject and your object. For example, I look at this flower. I look at a Big Bang. Big Bang or a flower. That is my object. Big Bang is my object. And my mind, which is thinking about Big Bang, that is the subject. You're getting it? Everything can be boiled down to the object and the subject. Okay. So now, first we have to study the object. According to Vaibhashika, all these objects, but objects, there are again infinite number of objects are there. How can you study all these? Right? For example, say all the people here who are attending the class here, I can say that, I can say that this can be classified into, say, the 30 below, 30 or below, and 30 plus. Is it correct or not correct? Is it correct? Anybody who is in this class, we can group into these two groups. We can put them into these two groups. Yes, no? Can you imagine anybody in this class who doesn't belong to one of these two categories? No. Yeah, 30 or below and 30 plus. You cannot imagine any person who doesn't fall under these two categories. Likewise, the basis of the object and the subject, first study the object. Object, there are billions and trillions of objects are there, but then Vaibhashika put them in so beautifully into 5 categories. 5 categories. You're getting it? This is so important. You must study this. You must study this. You must make be expert on this classification. You must be expert on this classification. This is so important. Okay, and many of the people say, okay, we are doing practice, we are doing meditation. Many people, they go into this direction. They don't study all these things. And then finally, with the meditation manual, right? There should be some manual. And then in the manual, there are commentaries are there, right? Commentaries. In the commentaries, they are usually written by experts, and they'll speak about the 5 bases, the 5 objects, and so what are the 5 objects? Then they get stuck. You're getting it? So this is where we have to. It's so precious for us to study all this. Be expert on classifying the objects into 5, right? What are the 5? Before we go to the 5, first let me take you like this. Say objects means something which exists. Existence. You're getting it? This thinking must be developed. We must nurture this thinking. Existence. Something which exists. Something which exists. Yes, there are big infinite things are there which exist. Okay. All those things which are existent can be grouped into 2. One is permanent and the other one is impermanent. You're getting it? We cannot think of any object which is not permanent or impermanent. Either it should be permanent or it should be non-permanent. Or what is permanent? You may be curious. Impermanent, I know, right? You may think that impermanent, I know because I've been studying all composite things impermanent every day. NDC, we recite this, all composite things impermanent. That I know. But permanent, I never heard about permanent because I thought Buddhism teaches everything is impermanent. Now for the first time we are learning that everything is not impermanent in Buddhism, right? Okay, how many of you thus far, till today, how many of you thought that Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent? Raise hands. How many of you thought, switch it. How many of you thought that thus far, till today, Buddhism says that everything is impermanent? Raise hands. Okay, 1, Suzanne, Shelley. Okay, anyone else? Any? Shelley, then the lying, Leong. Okay, so let us, don't worry. Don't worry. It's because of this that we are studying this. You are getting it? So the point is that Buddhism does not say that everything is impermanent. Only composite things are impermanent. Only composite things are impermanent. There's non-composite things also. Composite things are impermanent. All composite things are impermanent. Buddha did not say everything is impermanent. Let us not forget this. And many people, right, even they say, I have, in big conferences, some people, they say The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, everything is suffering. That is totally misguided. The Buddha did not say everything is suffering. No. Buddha said that transcending sorrow is peace. Right? Buddha taught peace. Buddha taught happiness. Then how can the happiness be suffering? So therefore, this is totally misguided. Not everything is impermanent. Only the composite things are impermanent, which means that the non-composite things are permanent. You're getting it? Let's not forget this. So, in other words, things can be existent, can be classified into two: permanent and impermanent. Okay. Now, impermanent phenomena can be, again, impermanent phenomena. We can divide this into three. Impermanent can be divided into three. Okay, this classification, your mind must prepare. Your mind must be prepared to go for study of the classifications, right? Okay, there are too many classifications, right? Okay, I thought that is going to be a very interesting class, interesting course. There are so many classifications, definitions, meanings, all right, very complicated. No, if this is the approach, we will never become enlightened. Enlightenment means where your mind will know every phenomena, and you even don't want to know the 5 classifications. There are trillions and trillions, infinite classifications there. Your mind, if your mind is not ready to learn the 5 classifications, how can you expect to become an omniscient mind, omniscient being? You're getting it? So therefore, be ready, and you have the capacity to know all the classifications. You have the capacity. Only thing is that last time we studied what is known as laziness. What is one laziness? Laziness in underestimating your potential. Right? Don't go for the laziness or underestimate your potential. Never underestimate your potential. Nobody can fail you. Only you can fail you. How yourself? How? By underestimating your potential. This is the greatest way to fail yourself. Nobody can fail you otherwise. Right? Somebody can pull you down 100 times. You can climb 101 times. But you pull yourself once. That is good enough. Right? That's good enough to fail you. So never underestimate yourself. We all have the potential to know 5 classifications of 5. This is nothing. You're getting it? This is nothing. You have the capacity to learn thousands of classifications. Believe it or not, just first come positively. Come with a positive, mood, positive attitude. Come with this. Okay, I'll try. It doesn't matter. There are classifications, but he said that's very true. The laziness of underestimating my own potential. I'll not surrender. I'll not give in to this laziness. So I'll struggle. Then over time, you hear about the classifications. You will find the joy as you see the classifications. In a way, what you are doing is that you are separating the gold. There are several versions: 18-karat gold, 20-karat gold, 24-karat gold, right? So, there's a gold that you pick it up. It can be a very alloyed gold. You're getting it? Gold with just like 8-10 karat, which is nothing, which is just what is that? It's totally a mixture. It's so low quality gold. So you should have the ability to distinguish what is a good gold. Likewise, the classification. With the classification, you are able to distinguish the things in a very fine way. So your thinking keeps growing. Your intelligence keeps growing. This intelligence that you keep growing, this intelligence only will take you to Buddhahood, not otherwise. You're getting it? Say people who are very learned, when they do meditation, people who are not learned do the meditation is very different. People who are very learned do the meditation, there's such a crystal clarity coming in the meditation. People who are not learned, they do meditation for like 10 hours, very hazy meditation. Hazy meditation will never take you to Buddhahood. Because Buddhahood is the state where your mind is the clearest. And the haziness and the clarity, these two are opposites. You're getting it? So the learning, making yourself rich in learning, that makes your thinking very clear. This clear thinking will make your meditation very clear. And this clear meditation will take you to the clear light state of the mind. Okay. So with this, say that okay, first existence classified into two. One is impermanent and the permanent, two. And impermanent again classified into three, right? Three. One is that the okay, just give me some examples of something which is existent around you, inside you, past, future, whatever. Just give me some examples of something which is existent. Then I will see where it falls. Anybody, very quick, raise your hands. We don't have time. Anybody, very quick, give me some examples of existent phenomena. So yes, Anna Sophie. Okay, myself. Yourself meaning Anna Sophie yourself or Dorji yourself? Sun. Okay, sun. Very good. Okay, sun is a physical form, so it falls under the impermanent phenomena, and within that, the physical form. Very good. So physical form is one thing, one division of the impermanent phenomena. Okay, the Laura Hoge. Unmute. Oh, the dream goes. Oh, that's interesting. Dream goes. Okay, we'll keep it later. This is a challenge for me, right? We all should work together. Dream goes. Let us not forget this. Anybody else? Very quick. Raise hands. Time. Okay, time. Time. Okay, according to Vaibhashika, time falls under the. Okay, first I should say like this. First I should give the classification, and then I will invite you to give the examples. Okay, say if you look around, we see that, oh, this is a bit of flower. This is physical form. You're getting it? So physical form, this is also impermanent. Okay, then the COVID, right? COVID. I say the coronavirus. Coronavirus is a virus. Is a virus. Okay, this is a virus, one thing. Then say, I'm very happy today. I'm very happy. My mind is happy. So one is physical form. Number two is mind. Within impermanent, within the category of mind, no. Category of impermanent phenomena. The first one is physical form. Then number two is mind. Then number three is, for example, let's say, I'm a human being. I'm a human being. Do you agree with me or not? Yes, you all agree with me. I'm a human being. But where is this human being? What I have is my body. What I have is my mind. My body falls under the category of physical form. My body is not human being. It's a human body. It's not human being. So my body falls in the category of physical form. And I have a mind. My mind is not human being. It's the human mind. It's not the human being. Because I'm a male. I'm a female. Right? So this gender is posited not on the basis of the mind. Mind does not have a gender. But whereas I have a gender. So therefore this mind is not the human being. It's the human mind. It's not the human being. So where is this human being? You remove the body. You remove my mind. Where is this Dorji as a human being? It's not there. You're getting it? They said that I am Tibetan, that I am boy, that I'm girl. Remove the body. All these disappeared. That I'm a boy makes no sense. That I'm a girl makes no sense. That I'm a Tibetan makes no sense. When the body is removed, then I'm happy, I'm not happy. Remove the mind. I'm happy, not happy makes no sense. You're getting it? So all these descriptions of the self makes no sense when I remove the body and the mind. Where is this self there? Where is this self? I, the human being, where is that? Okay, yes, it is there. It is impermanent. So it falls under another category. It's not under physical form, not under mind, but under the third category. Third category is known as non-associated compositional factors. Okay, these labels you have to learn. Non-associated compositional factors. Within impermanent, the first one is physical form, or to just say form, F-O-R-M, form. Number two is mind. Number three is non-associated compositional factors. Okay, So we see now impermanent phenomena classified into 3. Now what I do is that I will give you one job. The job that I like to give you is that from the existence, from the main overarching category is the existent phenomena. And the existent phenomena, I keep dividing. So your job is to tell me. Finally, you have to tell me. When I said now, tell me how many divisions are there. Your job is to tell me what are the divisions or the classifications which I do not divide any further. You're getting it? Let me say this again. I'm dividing all this existence into 2, permanent and impermanent. Impermanent divided into 3, form, mind, non-associated composition factors. I keep dividing like this. So finally, I'll ask you a question. Now you tell me how many classifications are there, how many divisions are there. You have to tell me how many divisions there which are not divided any further. You're getting it? You have to identify those things for me. Okay, so first, existent, the main category. So that is classified into 2, permanent and impermanent. And impermanent, again, you divide this into 3, physical form, mind, and the non-associated composition factors. And the mind we divide into further. We divide into 2. The mind we divide into 2, not the physical form. The mind we divide into 2. That is the primary mind and the mental factors. Primary mind and the mental factors. Okay. Now your job. Tell me how many divisions are there which I did not divide any further. How many of them are there? Okay, raise hands. Anybody who likes to tell me? Okay, Jyotiji.
5, Geshe-la.
5. What are they? Okay, let us all listen. Permanent phenomena, number 1.
Physical form.
Okay, form.
Primary mind.
Primary mind.
Mental factors.
Mental factor.
And non-associated compositional factors.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jyotiji. Thank you. Okay, now what we do is that we how Jyoti put it is absolutely correct. Now we put it in a different order. Order is impermanent first, and the permanent we classify it later. So the first form, then the primary mind, then the mental factors, non-associated composition factors, and then finally permanent phenomena or non-composite phenomena. Same. Permanent phenomena and non-composite phenomena, these two are synonymous. So these are the 5. What are the 5? Form, primary mind, mental factors, non-associated composite factors, and non-composite phenomena. Non-composite or permanent phenomena. Okay, these are the 5. So these 5 are known as the 5 bases. 5 bases taught in Vaibhashika school. Keep in mind that these are not only what is taught in Vaibhashika, they're also taught in other schools also, in all the other Buddhist schools. This is something which you can take up to Prasangika. You're getting it? This concept which you are learning in Vaibhashika is something which we can take to the Prasangika also, up to that level, right? Okay, so with this I like to now let us you tell me I will give you some examples and you tell me where the example that I'm giving or the instance that I'm giving, where does it fall? Which of the 5 categories it falls under? Okay, very quick. Anybody, just raise your hand. We don't have time. They say the flower. It falls on which of the 5 bases? Flower. Very quick. Raise your hand. Okay, Sadhana.
Physical form.
Say it again. We did not hear
Physical form.
Okay, let's say form. Form is technically correct. Technically better. Or form. Very good. Thank you. Okay, next is okay. The human being. Human being, just raise your hand. Where does it fall? Anybody else? Anybody? Very quick. New hand. Very quick. Very quick. We don't have time. Human being, where does it fall? Which of the 5 classifications it falls under? Anyone? Okay, Ben?
Non-associated compositional factors.
Very good, thank you. It falls under non-associated composition factor. No, good. Okay, number 3, music. Music, it falls under which? Very quick, raise your hands. Somebody raise your hand. Okay, no one. You're scared? Music. Music. Okay. Carolyn Hansen.
I'm just gonna guess non-composite.
Okay. So you have not studied it. This has to be studied under the what is known as the debate and the collective topics. There is a separate subject known as collective topics. They will study in detail. So the music falls under form, not necessarily the physical form like shape and color. Form is a connotation, something which our direct senses. Direct sense, like music is the ear direct sense. Music is anything which our direct sense they uniquely cognize. These all fall under the form. So the music falls under form. Very good. Okay, time. Time, where does it fall? Which of the 5 classifications this falls under? Anybody? Laura, yes.
Non-composite phenomena.
Okay, time. This is a very interesting topic. Time, say the different schools, they differ in the view. And Vaibhashika, the lower school, and Prasangika high school, these two agree that time falls under is not non-composite, it's under composite. But within composite, there are 4. Which of the 4? It falls under non-associated composition factors. Time falls under non-associated composition factors, according to this school. Okay. Sadness. Okay, let's say happiness. That's better. Happiness, where does it fall? Under which of the 5 categories this fall under? Jyoti?
Mental factors.
Okay, this is interesting. Sadness. Okay. Let's not forget what Jyoti said. Sadness falls under mental factor. I would say yes. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, that's good. So we become okay. What are the space? Where does it fall under? Elroy?
Permanent phenomena.
Permanent phenomena or non-composite phenomena? Okay, space, actually there are 2, right? Composite space and non-composite space. Permanent space and impermanent space. Both are there. Space, there are 2. And I know that you'll bother me with all these questions. What is composite space? What is non-composite? I know you will ask these questions later on, right? Okay, good. So we'll stop here for today. 1 or 2 questions if you have. Okay, Caroline.
Can I just ask clarification on? So sadness, you said you agreed was a mental factor, but then I thought you asked about happiness. So would that be primary mind? Happiness?
The happiness, that if I put the sadness under the category of the mental factor, happiness is just a matter of the this side. It should be also under mental factor. Yeah. And you maybe okay, but we already studied the mind and mental factor, right? Did we study that? Buddhist psychology? Oh no, I thought we studied it already. Okay, that's amazing, Jyotiji. Then you gave a brilliant answer, even though you do not study Buddhist psychology. Okay, no, very good. Okay, any other questions, Laura?
Geshe-la, this is from the last class. Would you mind clarifying the difference between natural Dharmakaya and wisdom Dharmakaya again?
Okay, so let's say that this is what is the difference between the say Dharmakaya? There are two, wisdom Dharmakaya and the natural Dharmakaya. What's the difference between these two? This question, right? Okay, let's say that okay, so all these topics, they're all connected. So if we study the entities and the isolates which we're yet to study, if we study that, it will become very easy, right? Okay. In other words, for the time being, I will say that the wisdom dharmakaya, for example, let's say that the flower and the quality of the flower. You're getting it? The flower and the quality of the flower. Buddha's mind and the quality of the Buddha's mind. So Buddha's mind is the wisdom dharmakaya, and the quality of the Buddha's mind, the quality of the purity. The quality of the purity of the Buddha's mind, this is the natural dharmakaya. For the time being. And anyway, it's not just for the time being, this is a very good answer. But for you to get deep conviction, we have to study what is known as entities and isolates. So for this, we will study this later on. When this topic comes, then Laura should remind all of us to distinguish these two. Then it becomes very clear, crystal clear for us. For the time being, what I would say is that the Buddha's mind and the quality of the purity, the pure quality of the purity of the Buddha's mind and the quality of that. What is that? That's the quality of purity of the Buddha's mind. Buddha's mind is the wisdom dharmakaya, and the quality of the purity of the Buddha's mind is the natural dharmakaya. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Shagun.
Hello, Geshe-la, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Geshe-la, I'm a little confused in primary mind, mental factor, and non-associated compositional factor. Maybe.
Yes. Okay.
Probably, a brief
Very good.
summary
Very
again.
good. Very good. Yeah. Very good. Okay. So which means that the Tenet system. Okay. Tenet system, which means in future we have to do the other way around. Instead of Tenet system, first we have to do the collective topics. Yeah. So Shugela, if we can keep that in mind, to do the collective topics first, and before Tenet system, we can do the Buddhist psychology first. I thought we finished the Buddhist psychology. No, we did not do it. Okay. Okay. So okay. Yeah. Okay. So now for Shagun's question, this is the mind and mental factors. The mind and mental factors versus the non-associated composition factors. Okay, this is a very important topic. So let me explain this here like this. So in the first place, say the non-associated composition factors. First, this came from the impermanent phenomena. Impermanent phenomena and composite phenomena, these two are same. Composition factor, impermanent phenomena, composed phenomena, compounded phenomena, they're all same. They all mean the same. Now under this impermanent phenomena or composite phenomena, then we have these form divisions. The form, the mind, mental factors, the primary mind and mental factors, and the non-associated composition factors. Okay. So for us to know how we divided the primary mind and mental factors, we club them together. Just say mind to make it easy for us, right? For the time being. So what we have is under impermanent phenomena, there are three. That is form, mind, and mental factor. The form, mind, and non-associated composition factors. Three, right? And if you want to divide the mind into two, that's fine. You can make it four. For time, let's say three. Now, the non-associated composition factors. The first one is the physical, which is the physical matter, the physical body, the flower, the house, the mountain, water, and so forth, which has a physical substance there, number one. Number two is, let's say, the mind, be it primary mind or the mental factors. Mind has its own substance. When you say the mind has a substance, don't think of that in terms of the atoms, electrons, protons like this. It is a very different connotation. You're getting it? Mind has its own substance, not in the form of electrons, protons, neutrons, but in the form of the mental, let's say, temporal segments. First moment of mind, second moment of mind, third moment of mind, and so forth. So this is the substance of mind. Now there's a third category, like let's say the time. Time makes sense. Time makes sense only if there's physical object and the mental object. In the absence of these two, time does not make any sense. You're getting it? Time makes sense only with these two things there, the physical and the mental. In other words, in physics, we talk about the space and time. Space and time. What is meant by space? Space means the physical. You're getting it? Physical space. And because that physics does not talk about the mind, so keep aside the mind. So with the space, then the time, because the space changes. The space changes. Big Bang. The universe as of now, the physics talks about the universe constantly expanding at the moment. It's expanding, which means that expanding means that earlier it was used to be smaller. Now it becomes bigger, 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 bigger. There's a constant change happening. So change connotes time. You're getting it? Earlier it was small, now it is bigger, which means that it doesn't remain the same. It doesn't remain the same. So there's some say at one point it is like this size. At other time it has become the universe today now. So there is a change there. So this change is not simultaneous. It is with a gap. That gap is known as time. So that time is explained only according to physics, only in relation to the physical form. In the absence of physical form, time makes no sense for physics. In the Buddhist context, in the absence of the physical form and the mind, time makes no sense. Time only makes sense with the physical dimension, with the space and time. The space and mind. Space meaning physical and mental. Then the time makes sense. So there's no separate substance to say that this is time. You're getting it? The substance is just the physical matter or the mind. And on that basis, then the time is described. So time is a composite phenomenon. It's a composite phenomenon, but it's not associated with the physical. It's not associated with the mental. Non-associated compositional factor. Composition because it is composed of moments. It's composed of moments. Because composed of moments, it is composite phenomenon. Because it is not associated as a physical form, it's not associated as a mental, it is non-associated. Non-associated meaning non-associated one of the earlier two phenomena. One of the earlier two composite phenomena. Non-associated with the form and non-associated with the mind. So that comes under the category of non-associated composition factors. You're getting it? Good. Now the mind, primary mind and mental factor. The difference between primary mind and mental factors. Okay, let's say that the the Singapore government, right? Okay, Singapore government. Okay, Abelardo, Costa Rica government. Let's say the Costa Rica government is extremely efficient. Let's say Costa Rica government is so extremely efficient. Then Abelardo is a little happy, right? Okay, then okay. Then Abelardo asked me, Gisela, tell me, the Costa Rica government is not just one solid entity. It has many departments. It has many ministries. Yes, no, Abelardo? It has many ministries. Oh, you got. Tell me precisely which ministry is effective. Okay. Now, Shagun, you have to follow me. So what I'm saying is that we speak about, let's say the Costa Rica government is very efficient, very good, whatever. Let's say this. And then somebody who is so familiar with the Costa Rica government, like Abelardo, he asked me, tell me precisely. It's so vague to say the Costa Rica government has some Some ministries are very effective, some ministries are not so effective, right? So tell me, which ministry you precise to talk about as very effective? Then I say the education ministry, right? Okay, let's say education ministry. So there we see that the one we talk about the Costa Rica government in general. You're getting it? Costa Rica government in general. And then the Abelardo makes me to go into details. The functions. What are all these ministries? These ministries are on the basis of different functions. Education, to take care of the education, to take care of the finance, to take care of the industries, to take care of the roads, to take care of the marketing, to take care of the diplomacy, right? To take care of the industries and so forth. There are many functions there. On the basis of different functions, then the different ministries are allocated. But the government as a whole is not a ministry. It's composed of ministries. So we can still say that it's a government as a whole. Likewise, the mind, if you don't talk about the specific functions, then the mind in general is known as primary mind. When you go into the functions, specific functions, then like the departments, like the ministries, we talk about the mental factors, mind and mental factors. You're getting it? Okay, we stop here now. Tenzi Now I know that there are people are very, very enthusiastic with more questions, but it's already 7:39. They are okay. Then Shugaram. 5:36, 37. Okay, and time up. Then Shugaram. Pray, dedication prayer.
Additional dedication prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you're the source of all happiness and good. All powerful Chen-raising Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Just as the brave Manjushri and Samanbhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva deeds. Chang Chub Sam Chok Rin Pochi Ma Ki Pa Nyam Ke Vuchi E Pa Nyam Pa E Pa Nyam Gong Ning Gong Pel. May the Supreme Bodhisattva not arisen, rise and grow. May that which has not arisen, may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain, dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of the Buddha, lead all beings, without exception, to that enlightened state. Dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of deeds and prayers, all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 3 times, opposing Dharma teaching and realization. May I, in all lives, in the course of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of Maya and awakening, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhisattva, perfect view, and the 2 stages. With the wish, if we all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in Buddha's presence, to generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Go for refuge to the Triple Gem, confess the negativities in each of you, I rejoice in the virtues of all beings, hold the precious Buddha in my heart. By the power of practicing and supplicating to you, may all beings be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts. May karma and the auspiciousness proliferate in all places where we abide. Path of union of emptiness and compassion is lucidly explained by the protector of both karma and the beings of the land of snows. You're the lotus holder Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds, of the negative forces of humans and non-humans, the power of malice, perverted prayers against the teaching of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of teachers. In all my lives, never be separated from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma of completing the qualities of the stages in thought, that quickly attain the state of Vajra. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by our Manjushri, to be able to uphold Dharma in general, the teachings of the Tenet origination in particular, even at the cost of Ayatha Gate Aragate Arasamgate Swaha Ayatha Gate Aragate Arasamgate Swaha Ayatha Gate Aragate Arasamgate Swaha.
Okay. Welcome, all of you. Yeah. Okay. See you Wednesday.